And they incarnate to defeat the demiurge. But there's something about they don't like the pursuit of money. They don't like the pursuit of happiness. It's you know, my inference is to dumb you down from reaching a highly spiritually evolved society that can transcend. Because you can have technology like they got in that timeline, but they're taking the soul out of it. It's like, yeah, they pushing, the transgender, everything, not just that, but acceptance, but there's no soul in it. It's vacuous and focused on the physical. What happens when that fails? A robot machine can fail, but when you connect it to the source, you can't really fuck with that. Shit could get fucked up like mine, but it really can't. And that's, Alex Collier talked about it a long time ago. They're trying to denigrate us by pushing out, what Lauryn Hill talked about, the X factor, the soul factor, even though she didn't talk about that per se. That's the X factor, the factor they don't want to talk about. Wish I can go back being deep like I used to be. I'm not. I'm so fucked up internally. I gotta fuck with my shit tonight. Anyways, with that being said, they try to get you to focus on money because it's the illusion, and it's their form of having power over us. We've always had it before they came, and it's a means to survive, but it's not the be-all end-all of existence, of the bane of your existence. You're more, and your soul helps you to transcend all of that, and that's what they envy. That's what they covet, and that's what they're trying to kill in you. Soul killing. That's what they're doing with us. So they're trying to take that out, that X factor. That's why they want you to be vacuous like a robot and pursue, money. Something that's just, okay, it's for the physical. It's here. But they're looking all into my shit right now. Power karate and everything else. I ain't got time for this shit. I gotta get this shit the fuck out. I gotta get my shit back. What the so-called royal family got, they, so I got this picture here. Got an answer to the Rothschilds, and when you abdicate your authority to somebody else, just to, gets something. I mean, y'all could set the standard as well. Y'all don't need. They could have done spiritual shit to reach higher level aliens instead of going to them niggas. Setting up a central bank. You stupid motherfucker. Stupid. Now they all fucked up. They family fucked up. I'm not going to say they family fucked up, but they got all of us fucked up in the pursuit of power. They only get, like, from what I understand, selling their consciousness, $12. Rothschilds like $500, and them, motherfuckers like Sirius the Rothschild here, Philippine. They live underground in the Getty Museum. Ain't none of them niggas fucking human. And I saw my eyes just come out just now. And they give them food like animals. Like, you don't treat the Threat Atlas, Rothschilds like that. Because they sentient smart motherfuckers. you don't treat you don't treat the reptilians like that. You know, I saw Pine Dar as a kid. It looked like not Skeksis, but sleeve stacks, ugly motherfuckers. You know, I thought they were pretty looking motherfuckers like the alligators and shit. And I've seen some that, you know, very sentient, remind me of like pet dogs at times, not out of disrespect. And they sentient, you know, all animals to me are sentient, but those are some like mindless amoeba mother. I don't even think they're on the level of fucking amoebas and shit. Camilla Philippi the Rothschild and shit. That nigga is an ugly bitch, by the way. She looked like Ursula. It's mama. I mean, listen, it's Prince Charles. Y'all using me for their perk, man. Y'all gotta get the fuck about my soul consciousness. Sad to work, they made me realize that earlier today. That's why I gotta stay militant with this shit. I can't get complacent with this shit. But all them niggas live underground, and you know, I think he on the fucking level of I don't want to say amoeba, but just like a fucking niggas that don't think. Like shit, reptilians don't automatically eat your ass. They sentient. The same thing with roaches. Roachalians don't automatically eat your ass. You know, they more sentient. Like, you know, we'll snatch your consciousness, put it on our ship like Harry and Meghan Markle do. They'll go downtown. I kept hearing a song play. That's why we need to fuck them niggas up. Called Playing Go Downtown, chomp chomp, and pay a sex worker after fucking raping them. He does something where he fuck them in the head. She will eat their vaginal cavity out to the point of fucking bleeding. They'll pay him like a ludicrous amount of money after beating them up and everything else, $156 million. That comes direct from the millions, and then they'll be suspended. I don't know if on ancestral ships or what. You know, use 694, 695 hertz, 1181 hertz to see, and then be brought on board. I think them niggas connected to here somehow, so I gotta find out where the fuck they at. I can't play around with this shit anymore, especially after what happened with my parents. Call me a hoe and all sorts of fucking shit. Nigga and booty scratchers, something. Nah, you taking my shit. Nah, they were about to do that to Baron Samedi till they saw what he was made of. That nigga ain't no joke. And I believe, from what I heard, they walked the fuck up out. Clean on out. They're not that hard to get because they need consent from God to do shit. So they're not hard to get rid of. You can just oust them out of your timelines. A lot of people do that. And when I saw that shit coming with 3i Atlas, I should have did that. Just, you know, 125 hertz my parents that was stuck in hell realms on that shit and just been done with it. You know, I think, you know, for the real 3i Atlas, 735 hertz was putting them back in their timelines, if I'm not mistaken. It was helping them out. 3517 hertz could put them back. Got a bunch of frequencies. Put somebody back. 4217. I gotta check. There's one that's a lot more effective. But anyways, them motherfuckers ain't been human since the age of enlightenment. They sold us out. Them motherfuckers sold out their liberty. That's why I don't, you know, money, you know, it's like granting powers from somebody else to rule. And there was and they, by the way, they keep saying modus operandi, some shit to keep me dead or something. I was using my power. Little Rose Spears was helping me. I think a child spirit guy too. She had reversed and say modus operandi, like the dude from the show. I had a crush on the back in the day. I don't think I did. Marcus the Magnificent, who was on WGNO in New Orleans back in the day, man. I love my childhood. I got to do more for my parents. I remember when my dad used to cut the lawn, he was making fun of that, talking down on him, bring us, candy, and me and my little brother Brian would wait up at night, and I would talk to him like he was a human. We used to make fun of him, because he was special. He got special because so they were trying to take us out of our timelines. I saw that with my eyes. I know my shit ain't right. They're plain white. It's not good. Dead. He had, he was sniffing spray starch or something. And at the age of 2, he was very, very precocious. And fucked himself up in the head. He was a funny little motherfucker. He used to run around the house after watching Chucky and shit, was emulating him and trying to kill our asses if we fucked with him or tapped him on the head, playing with him as little kids when he was a baby. But we would wait up, sounded inarticulate like a zombie. We would wait up for him to bring us candy. And that poor man would, be working hard, standing out. My dad should have got a lot more in life. I gotta say, it's more than just making him proud now. I gotta face the music and make him live again. It's another miserable motherfuckers do. They talk down on people that they fucking sacrifice. Meghan Markle will talk down on babies when she cutting them up and everything else. Gotta take that bitch out, and I'm gonna tell you how. And that's gonna help her poor parents out in the process. But anyways, ain't none of them motherfuckers existed since the 1700s. They did something where they got their ancestors living in their consciousness. Now the thing is, they look at what a motherfucker can contribute. For instance, Prince Andrew. I heard Queen Elizabeth. Everything goes with her. You fuck up her consciousness, you could fuck up all of them. I did that in the spirit plane. A while back, she tried to incarnate in the body of an African girl, throwing out her ancestors. They tried doing that with me in a bunch of timelines, throwing out my dad, my ancestors in my original timelines, and Baron Family God and a couple other people were able to fucking backtrack that, including myself one night. And it was a mad fucking hard job. With that being said, my dad, about you and civilized on a PCH walking around shirtless and bitch, you out here feeding on nigga, you the lowest life form in your fucking species, you alien ass kike motherfucker, you fake Jew bitch. Cyborg cracker hoe. Robo rape baby cracker bitch. Say crack up bitch. Crack a bitch upside the fucking head if I see them hoes. Fucking robo hoes. As I was saying before, the thing with them is they haven't been human for quite some time. They haven't existed. From what I understand, they made a deal where they got them, I heard like me, living in their consciousnesses. Yeah, you gotta fuck up Queen Elizabeth, Mountbatten, Windsor. That's how you get to them, because they have like a one mindset now. Them niggas haven't really existed in human form since the Age of Enlightenment, since they made a deal with your boy Wise Hot. Well, not really, with them aliens. Me and my road spirits actually went in there to fuck her ass up for that shit, and we did. I didn't like that shit. She was throwing that child out of the body. From what I understand, she was going to set up a central bank, grow up to become a dictator in Africa, some shit like that. From Bulan. She was fucking with my ancestor, what's his name? Mansa Musa. As a matter of fact, Prince Andrew's real past life incarnation. He was a gay man and gay black man in Chicago. They picked a person based on what you can contribute, and they saw he would be related to the future he came. Throwing my entity attachments out, stealing them and all that shit. But anyways, my shit of that powers and everything, trying to throw me out of that. They were trying to do that shit with Baron Samedi and boss him around. He woke their ass as quick, I heard. It's true. But anyways, I heard in the spirit plane, he tries to present himself as black as possible and tell people what's going on, like a lot of us tend to do. He was trying to put people in my realm, especially Mansa Musa, so they can be free. Like, when they do their rituals and they killing people off, they always African. That's why I heard in the UK, Africans are quick to get counselor houses out of any other fucking group of people. Because they quick to make the sacrifices, and they big on sacrificing their own people, which I hate. I don't like when we disrespect each other. They'll have, physically, and they'll physically show them this, too. That's how you know them niggas ain't really human. 2 rooms where they could go straight into the room of the demiurge, adjective, I'm for the burn victim. I believe they can go into his hell realm. And Prince Charles, after raping the shit out of black women, little girls, I heard he was fucking James Comey and shit, looking like Howdy Doody. Talked about that in Pizzagate. He really a gay man. He sees black women as men. Camilla looked like that. And on top of that, she's a confidant who he could tell all that shit to. That's why Harry wanted to be with Rihanna. Because she went through some shit with Jay-Z. They raped the shit out of her, and he stopped short of turning her into an entity attachment, which is, what Sean Puffy Combs did to a black woman that night. That's what your boy, what's his name, Justin Bieber, wanted to really expose, but instead he talked about child abuse, because that's what a lot of people talk about. They raped a young lady, and then when she was in her room sobbing about it, the room got darker and darker and darker until it enveloped her, and she ended up in the consciousness of, because through them 360 deals, they made deals with them motherfuckers, but not explicitly where they could do whatever they want with them. So I warn you against the music industry. Latasha Harlan's in the timeline. They ain't got that because of that shit, because they dominate and they're not supposed to. Where she ended up in the head of the Macarena motherfuckers, and then your boy's timeline, similar to mine with August 22nd, 2024 or something, or I don't know. They got him in a Groundhog Day scenario where he's reliving 2017 over again, or 2016 when he got taken out of the world. And they got him in the head of the Macarena people, that girl, who I wanted, to use my powers to, put the ancestors on. I've been trying to do that with my parents. I'm not going to fucking lie. And I can't hit the mark. It's a lie. It's really a fucking lie. And I need to get on my shit, and I have. So I got to give myself credit. But my black ass got to do more. I saw them signs. I can't be cautious about it. But they had her living in the head of the Macarena people. So call on her ancestors. 195 hertz can do that. 40. What's the frequencies for? I don't know. I'm in my fucking foot. So, use 694 hertz, 695 hertz, see what the fuck is going on. 1181 hertz. Remember, they were slandering the fuck out of them. I'm around the aliens tried to help me, and they were trying to fuck them 2 bitches up. Especially the bitch that stole my body. They were really pissed off about that. She's trying to do something that just puts me out of my soul consciousness. By the way, Meghan Markle. Another thing about them, too, is the Rothschilds own breeding rights to them because they got like a button in the back where the Rothschilds could just press on it like a fucking robot and they shut down instantly. You never want another motherfucker, human, person, whatever, to have that power over you. I heard got that with it, but we got layers of protection, they don't. That's why I heard in the spirit plane with Princess Diana Spencer. Well, I heard I wanted to steal a lot of my shit and be me in her next life. She was looking all dark and everything else. That's another hoe I can't stand in the spirit plane because she be caping for all that evil shit, caping for her sons doing that evil shit, protecting them as much as possible. Don't commiserate with them motherfuckers because she killing her people. Protected from my parents. She was gonna, like they all do, take my consciousness, make it her main, which is what her sons, Catherine's sons, blue, my favorite color there. My color. She did with her and Prince Charles' kids. Let me see what them. Prince George and Prince Charlotte, and that's what so they passed the thing with Queen Elizabeth. That was their contribution. I wonder what their past life was. It's a lot of trickery with them motherfuckers. They got the consciousnesses of two African guys who see nothing but white light, similar to Trevor Moore, good-looking guy too, by the way. Was in that, in my original timeline, it was the whitest kids you'll ever know, kids you know, and that was on the Comedy Central channel. Back in the day, that was 97. That nigga came up in like 2018. We didn't, it's different, something different. But it's Gucci Man. That's why they were trying to get y'all, like in that timeline, used to MK Ultra. That's why they brought him out to see y'all reaction, and everybody knew. But I don't think none of y'all niggas like with 13 Signs Astrology were doing anything. You know, they got him, I think, seeing white lights after signing a soul contract. Same thing with Kodak Black. They got him, stuck in a place where he's seeing nothing but garbage cans. Same thing with Angela White, a.k.a. Black China. That is fucked up what's going on with her. I remember Rothschilds telling me when we tried to help out, she was thinking Zendaya instead of me. So something ain't right going on with he's stealing my shit and giving it to Zendaya. She was like, yeah, I don't want to rich fucking black ass nigga bitch mayate. Now I'll still help you out. I don't like to see people in that situation. But Rob Kardashian, you know about that shit and don't like that. But anyways, try to fuck with them just because I say that and these niggas all in my shit. So I gotta shut that shit down and take my power back like Effie. Take my power back like Effie and the guys was saying. But I heard they killed her off, they killed Adele off, and all them people, and they killed off these people here who were trying to put me back in my body. When I would call on and say I want everybody who got soul swapped to be put back in their bodies, me, Kanye, and a couple of other people would show up. So that timeline's real where I got soul swapped. I can't negate that. And she was the one that put my parents in hell realm. That's why I'm trying to find out what her name is. And I gotta fuck this bitch up. She gotta die. That's why the Illuminati is in my timelines. All in my soul kind of house. It's starting a little bit of power my yumbe there. It started out with that timeline, so I gotta take that bitch out. There's no going around it. None. I can't play around like this. I can't play around with this. Like I've been tolerating it, just to get by, and I can't do that. Put them people straight up in hell realms using my power. I'm not gonna be a battery for these motherfuckers and let them take my powers. Them mine bearing Sammy and my parents. Isis, none of us. They were fucking with Nefertiti and everything else. Who's I believe another ancestor. That sage you got to get them through getting the Queen Mother, who's a reptilian. I heard she got on with Prince Andrew. Dad, he's because he was a black guy cultivated in the MK Ultra program because he looked like a reptilian. Them niggas ain't nothing attractive. They look like fucking sleeve stacks, I heard. Real ugly, dumpy in the face. They look like a caricature of alligators and shit. They don't look good at all. They don't look like the serious face Dracos that you're showing. They look like what the fuck, man? You don't get your ugly razor teeth ass the fuck up out of my face. And threw some fucking lavender oil on the nigga. With that being said, you know, Prince Andrew, his black higher self, you know, still got his mother from that timeline around him and everything else, his past life incarnation. He goes out of his way to show that he's black. But what he'll do is he'll tell him, hey, Raven consciousness, that's how I know this shit's real. And stay there. Show them the Mansa Musa and then freedom in modern day LA or New Orleans. So it's something about that Santa Muerte and all this other shit that's going on. That B shit. You know, like I say, the Antichrist ain't really all that bad. They killed the Joe. His name was Hassan. He was born when I was staying at the American Motel. And I believe it was the summer of, as I got in the first to serve in 2024. So this was either 2023 or 2024. And he was trying to stop all the bullshit. So I need y'all to rescue that guy. His name was Hassan. He was to be born. I got Saudi Arabia. And he was to do the Antichrist shit. Because Lord God, whatchamacallins with that. Had 3 world wars. So Hitler happened. And they got him fucked up. And they got the entity attachment meant to represent him living somewhere else, you know, to make it seem like it's him. But, you know, his real self, his real connection to God and all of that got fucked up and turned into roach or entity attachments because he was helping me out. I remember when I was seeing something, it was through my soul consciousness. I saw him looking at me and smiling. I was just like, wow, he smiled. Hitler smiled. It's related to a lot of black people through Harriet Tubman. So please help that man. 3517 hertz, 117 hertz, combined with 800 hertz. Help that man out. I'm getting emotional, man, because I feel overwhelmed. There's a lot of niggas to help out. I had John Smith, I believe, who was Mayflower, I'm related to, and all that shit. It turned him into a roach attachment when he was helping me out, and he was mad gun ho. I can't believe Hitler fucking smiled, man. I big fan of them back in the fucking day when I was in high school, and that warms my heart to see that. You know, a lot of love coming my way from so many sources. I got the roaches that love me. I got, you know, I gotta get on my shit. With that being said, they turned that man into all that shit. Put my brother Brian and Pierre Holmes and all of them consciousness. Zoe Jennings is supposed to run Fortune 500 companies. Ralph Lauren gave her a chance and killed off a girl, I think, from South Central or something. Was beating up a girl from South Central to whip her ass. White folk, you know, El Segundo, that's where she comes from. I heard they took all my shit and just, like I found them in the spirit plane, you 694 hertz, 695 hertz, 1181 hertz. See. So my highest self, the highest self from my past life incarnation as a Swede. Yeah, that girl singing happy, I'm happy, and help, 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 help. Yeah, I remember she was urging me, use your spiritual powers, don't stand for this. So I gotta get back to work once I'm done. I gotta stay on it all night. I can't tolerate this shit anymore like I have. And just be passive, especially what happened to my parents. I took it because I felt like I had to as a coping mechanism. It's just built up, and I shouldn't let it get to this point. But Prince Andrew's real higher self, well, you know, his real higher self, so conscious what, will try to lead them in a direction where it's propitious for them Africans. He don't like them motherfuckers, and when I tried my best, like I did today, I saw where their reincarnation shits are. And I was trying to take them out their bodies and put them in my hell realm. We all have hell realms within. I've been stealing a lot of mine. I was using Clovis oil and they were stealing a lot of mine and all that shit, so I gotta get my shit back. 517 hertz or 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz, add as many zeros at the end and beginning and all around as possible to enhance the number's power. I gotta get my shit back. I can't fuck around with this. But with that being said, I almost look different. I noticed that their consciousness was different when I was trying to fuck them up earlier with the Paloma Yumbe shit. Or past life incarnation entity attachment. They were in a totally different direction and they were disconnected. So the way to fuck them up is put their past life self back in their bodies. Them motherfuckers, when they're born, I heard, at the age of 2, Harry got taken out of his body, put in it. They have something where their ancestors who be living in their own consciousness jump in their consciousness, jump in their heads, and become their main consciousness. That's why they only have a main consciousness. They don't have anything else. And then they have like dark dementor-like beings, like right here, become their higher selves. And I believe reptilians, if I'm not mistaken. And they answer to the Egyptian gods, and they've been trying to usurp them for a long time. Because they want to steal their power, the power of blacks and all of that. Roach has been saying these. Take the power of us. So they put us So with that being said, yeah, my parents sounded zombified and I was sounding demonic. I heard myself today, so I gotta rectify this shit. Just saw my fingernails be white. And my future self was showing me I would end up in the hell room with all this shit, especially with that cell phone I was showing y'all the other day. If I don't do something about it, Rothschilds and shit. Shit. So with that being said, use 3517 hertz, 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz to put him back in. One of my road spirits is able to find his soul consciousness, by the way, and start fucking it up. I heard that when Harry Mountbatten Windsors was 2, they took him out of his body, put him in his, and fucked him up. I heard that they'll have him seen white living in the astral plane simultaneously while living in the physical body. And it's their ancestors who run their consciousness. And nobody's really there. They just have them motherfuckers, them dementors running things. And they're supposed to come from the property. They're trying to put Zendaya's He Can't Steal My Shit, as well as Satan. So do a 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz or 3517 hertz with zeros all around at the end and the beginning as possible to take them out. I almost want to say press that same red button that the Rothschilds do. Saying you can do it. I ain't in the mood to deal with people's shit. I got to get on this shit. If it's a person's soul swap, for 8 hertz will help. Add as many zeros at the end and beginning and all around as possible. The Church of Scientology uses 110 combined with 000 hertz to do that, but 808 is more effective. That's why Kanye warned against it. And then him, and I heard that roach attachment that's living in them wouldn't even want to be there. Some aspect of Iggy Pop or something. Iggy Pop, what's that musician who was my fucking favorite back in the day? Used to talk shit about people. Wasn't Eddie Izzard? He was a transvestite. Had a crush on him back in the day. He was another guy. Must be related to or something. I'm trying to think of it. There's a lot of British white folk in my ancestral line. Wasn't cracked out, no offense, cracked out version of Free Falling guy. Tom Petty. The Alice in Wonderland one. Great fucking potential and power. How the fuck let me get on my shit. Just get real. That shit look crowded. But it's that nigga that was real that would just call a motherfucker out